It's 4:30 a.m. We're in the van. We're off to get some big upgrades today. Come and check it out. Right, so let's have a bit of a conversation then about what is going on today. So we have a slot booked today, all day at Offgrid Power Solutions. Now, Offgrid Power Solutions are in Wantage, which is near Oxford. Quite a journey for us. They open at 8 a.m, so we've had to set off early to be able to get there. Now, the van is finally having a lithium battery. Now, we've had this lithium battery from Roma for a little while at home. I bought it on one of their special offers, so it's been sitting around and we've had to wait for our slot at Offgrid to be able to go and have it fitted. Now, as well as that, we are also having a 1600 VA multi-plus inverter, multi-plus compact inverter fitted in the van. So we're able to use 240 volt from our new lithium battery. And we're also thinking about having a new additional solar controller, so we can plug in external solar panels to just boost over and above the 2 panels that we've got on the van already. Now, to be able to do those things, to install the multi-plus inverter, to install the lithium battery, that's quite a lot of work, because they need to take out the 2 AGM batteries that the van already has. It's got one under the bonnet, one under the driver's seat here. They're going to be fitting the new Roma battery underneath the driver's seat. Haven't quite decided what we're going to do about the battery coming out from under the bonnet, whether we're going to use a dummy battery to put the Orion XS charger. So there's the battery to battery charger, the one that uses the alternator basically to be able to charge the van as you drive along. To charge the lithium battery. We've already got that, and there's another video which I did which I fitted that in, so do check that out. We haven't decided yet whether we're going to fit that in a dummy battery and put it under the bonnet, or whether we're going to fit it under the seat in here somewhere, under the passenger seat. Yeah, the multi-plus, we're planning to put that in the false floor just in front of the bench seat. Obviously they're going to wire all that in and electrically test it and everything else. So yeah, big day for the van today. It's going to completely transform all of the electrics for the van, much more off-grid capability. Going to be great to have 240 volt built in basically into the van, which will mean that we won't need to carry around any kind of power bank with us or anything like that. And great that we'll have the ability to hopefully use our portable solar panels just to be able to boost the charging capability of the van when we are off-grid and stationary. So what do we got? About 120 miles or so to go today to be able to get there in time. I've left a little bit of time extra so I can get a bit of breakfast before we get there, so fingers crossed for no traffic, so I can get some food before we arrive there and spend a whole day doing this install. Right, no traffic, so we've got plenty of time for some breakfast and a coffee. Right, so we're here and the van is in the workshop, so let's go and have a look at the plan of attack for today. So plan of attack for today is front seats out. Roger's just having a look at that, and we'll whip those out. It gives good easy access underneath here for all of the stuff which is going to go in there, and we'll walk through that as it goes in a bit later on. And obviously underneath the driver's seat is the original Westfalia charger. It's where our couple of MPPTs are at the minute. It's where the new Roma battery is going to go under there as well, so got to get that out first. I've started to just take out a few of the trim panels under here, because remember from the other video I did on the Orion XS, just underneath here is where the main starter battery is, which obviously they need to get to wire stuff up and to isolate things in a few minutes. So yeah, just need to strip a bit of this out, ready to go, and then we'll start to see where we're going to put everything. So there you go, you can see that is where that 70 amp hour secondary battery has just come out from underneath the driver's seat. This here is the original Westfalia Shore charger. You can see that's a 240 volt input going to it there. And then this one just under here is a tiny little split charge unit, Westfalia unit, again you can see that, which is used to trickle charge the starter battery, but we're not going to need any of that going forward because the Multi Plus is going to trickle charge the mains battery and obviously do the mains charging of the lithium and all that stuff. And then on the back of this you can see a couple of blue units. Those units there are the two MPPTs for our two solar panels on the roof. The shunt, which is at the front here, was the one that I fitted to try and monitor the AGM battery that was in here. So we're going to reuse that to monitor the lithium. And then this little box here is the main bus bar, which Westfalia installed for all of the main leisure works. Now, let me just jump in and I'll just show you what's underneath the passenger seat. So this is a fairly standard look at this. So that's a fan and heater unit, which is part of the winter pack on one of these Sven Hedins. You can see the water pipes go in here to heat it and everything else. That's our Serbo GX, which is velcroed on the side at the moment, but that's going to move, I'm sure, as they go through the install. And then this here is just a 12 volt USB supply for our charger on the dashboard. A bit hairy under here. I think the dog's been breathing on it. So the plan is to have the Multi Plus inverter underneath the floor here in this false floor. The Roma battery obviously is going to go in here. All of this is going to come out to give it the relevant space in there. And yeah, we'll see how we manage to kind of fit it all in. Right, so we've got both of the solars are out, so creating space down the bottom here for the battery to go in. The original mains charger just here is out, so that's what that is if anyone's interested. It was mounted on this bracket as well, so that is out. And poor Roger's trying to detangle all of the relevant wiring, including some of mine, which I put in there when I fitted the shunt and other bits and pieces. So just clearing the decks just to be able to start to trial fit the battery under there. Then under the bonnet there's a complete dismantling of everything I've done under there as well, which is absolutely right because it needs to it needs to be redone. So a bit of surgery is required down in here. These posts that we've got, which are part of the original Westfalia metal, need to come out because at the moment they're going to stop the battery from sitting in there flat. So he's wielding an angle grinder and I'm going to stand well back. There we go, look, all the studs are gone. Just got to take the shunt out now so we're able to get the battery and the trial fit the battery, and it wouldn't quite lay down in there, so got to get the shunt out the way so we can lay it down, and then we'll figure out a bit of a plan from there as to whether the shunt's going back in where it is or whether it's going to go somewhere else.
Did we put firm on the bottom of the other one before we put it in?
Looks right. Very good. Looks like it's been designed to go under one of them.
Yeah, it does look like that.
Just back under the bonnet here, let's have a look and see what we've got going on. So we've taken the battery out, the Orion's come out that I put in. We've got the negative, which was on the battery, which has got a measuring shunt on it from the factory. We've got a feed cable here which goes down to the main distribution bus bar, positive bus bar, which is underneath the driver's seat. That's a Westfalia cable. And then we've got this positive cable, which is a cable which goes to fuse board D underneath the passenger seat. Now, that's important because that powers things like the USB sockets and a load of other van bits and pieces. So what we're thinking is, instead of having to re-provide all of those, Nigel's going to install a bus bar, so effectively a positive post, because this cable is not going to feed the bus bar underneath the Westfalia bus bar underneath the driver's seat. It's going to come the other way, so it's actually going to be a power cable from it to be able to feed bus bar D, fuse board D underneath the passenger seat. So all those three are all going to go and be mounted on that post. This one we're just going to leave unplugged, connected up to the side of the van, just a normal earth where it was originally. Shuttle this lot up, and then that should be us done underneath the bonnet. Right, so there we go, all nice, neat, tidy and done. So everything's back to normal under here. So not only do you have to be good at wiring, you have to be good at woodwork as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger's had to make a kind of a wooden bracket to be able to fit one of the solar controllers under the driver's seat, and I think we're going to see some more wooden magic going on under this seat here in due course as well. But yeah, it's all nice, tidy job though, because it's all spray painted black, so you don't really notice it under the seat and everything. So it's all looking pretty decent.
Okay, which are you trying to cook?
Well, it's got to that lunchtime point, I'm feeling hungry, and I was pointed in the direction of this local little village called Childry, and they've got a little Childry stores behind me here, which I've just had lunch in. Ooh, fantastic bit of lunch, walking distance down a nice bridle way from where Offgrid Power Solutions are. Definitely worth checking out if you're having your van done and you're here for the day. Right, we're getting on to the serious end of business now. We've got the Multi Plus, which is just kind of resting in the recess underneath the bench seat now, just trying to have a look at the cable lengths. You can see the Multi Plus Compact 1600 comes with some cables supplied, some 35mm cables, and ideally we want to use those. It saves having to make some new ones and use kind of bigger, chunkier cable unless we really have to. So nice just having a quick look with a endoscope, making sure that the cable runs are going to be okay, and if we need to drill a hole to pass cables through, that we're not going to suddenly damage anything else. So that's good. Roger's been speedily fitting the Orion XS under the seat there. Another bit of woodwork and just wiring it all up, ready to go. And then we've got a couple more MPPTs to finish off, because we're adding one for the portable panels that we've got, just to bolster it if we need to. So that's going under there. Shunt needs to go back in under the seat here, but we can only do that once the battery's back in. So yeah, all starting to come together now. Let's have a look at the business end of this inverter. So you can see there we're using the original cables which it came with, which is handy. We did manage to make them fit. We've got our comms cable, the blue one, that's going off to the Serbo GX. The red cable is the trickle charge from this to the starter battery, so that's good. And then over on this side, Roger's just finished off making another bit of woodwork to be able to fit the final couple of controllers for the solar. And yeah, the battery hole is coming along nicely, lots of cables in there. So you can see this cable here is the one from the inverter, real chunky, and yeah, that solar's all sorted. This one here is the comms cable from the battery, which goes into the Serbo, so that's going to be very useful. So yeah, all starting to come together, and Nigel started to pull in the cables here for the earth, and also the 240 volt in from the shoreline, so when you plug it in on the outside, as well as the cable which comes from the Multi Plus to be able to power all the sockets. So yeah, coming together. So we're pretty much there with the Multi Plus now. just a bit of cable tidying to do. I found it easier to take the bottom part of the bench seat actually off, so we can get in there to do what was needed. And if I just put this in here, you can see neat job in there, all wired into the distribution board, which is under there. We do have another little job. You can see the battery is in position now. Nigel's just working on sorting out the shunt and all of the cables for that. We do have another little job in here, which is to install a 12 volt LED driver, and that's not to drive an LED, it's to power the little symbol which is on the display, the Westfalia display, to tell you that you're connected to 240 volt shore power. So the way that that's done is the green cables there on that loom, which is one of the old Westfalia looms, so this one here, those cables there need a 12 volt supply to them, and then that is what puts the little symbol on the display above my head, and that will show us that the 240 volt mains input is working to the van when we connect it up. So Nigel's just on the final bit now with the fusing we've got here. So we've got fuse, which is the one which connects both sides together effectively with all the charging stuff on the passenger side into the driver's side. So that's that one there, MIDI fuse. And then we've got, which type of fuse?
MRBF.
MRBF fuse, which we found wouldn't fit because usually they're fitted flat with the post upwards. But if you turn it upside down and there's enough space, which there just about is, it's still going to fit. So look at that, look. Perfect solution for it. Right, it's getting late in the day, but apart from putting the seats back in, this job is done. So what we've got to do now is we've got to turn it on. And there's only one man for that job, and that is the man who's done a good proportion of this work today. So Nigel,
All right.
let's go for it. So that's the main power switch on the Roma battery. Let's power it on, and that's basically everything on the leisure side coming from that battery now. So we've got a quick run through in here then. So we've got the shunt, we've got the one of the solar controllers for one of the panels on the roof. Just tucked in here under there is a little 12 volt LED driver, which is powered only when it's on hookup, and that is so that on the Westfalia panel, which is the one just up the top here, you get a little plug symbol come up, which just reminds you that you're powered on hookup. Needed to sort all that out. Really tidy job, all the trims back on and everything, as you can see. Then on this side, they've managed to package everything in here that we've needed. So Roger's done a sterling job of creating all these wooden buttons and everything else to put everything in here. But basically we've got the servo, which we had originally. We've got the Orion XS, which is the battery to battery charger. So that's the one that charges effectively from the alternator, but it is basically running from the starter battery, which is that one there. Then you've got a new solar controller, which is for the external panels, which I'll show you the Anderson connector for because it's on the front of the seat base. And then we've got the other solar controller, which is for the other panel on the roof. So lots of stuff moving around. I think you've basically there's nothing you haven't touched, is there, in this install? So underneath the false floor here is the new Multi-Plus. So obviously that's powered straight to the Roma battery. We did manage to use the original cables which came with the compact, which is good. Kept them as short as possible. You can see the white cables there, which are the ones which go off underneath the seat here, which goes to the consumer unit, the 240 volt consumer unit under there. In fact, there is something that you haven't touched, Nigel. You know what? It's this screen at the top here. He hasn't had a play with the Touch 50 screen. Obviously what that shows you there is the battery. It's currently got 55% in. The inverter is on and inverting, and we have tested one of the sockets just to make sure it's all working as it should do, which it is. We've plugged it into hookup to check that, and that's fine. Charge is no problem. We started the van, no error messages or anything like that on the van. So what we've got to do now is we've got to put the driver and passenger seats back in, put a bit of trim back and stuff just in the footwell and everything. And I think we're about there then, aren't we? Oh, we've just got to test the Anderson connector with the new controller, but apart from that, we're done. Well, there we go. I'm back in the van. I'm about to head home. It's 10 to 7. I tell you what, those guys worked really hard today. Started at 8 o'clock in the morning and then finished at what, 10 to 7. Wow. They've done a sterling job of the van, super tidy. Seats back in, obviously. Do check it out on their channel. If you haven't seen Offgrid Power Solutions' own YouTube channel, do check out their video. Nigel does a good run through of everything that they've done on the van. Do check that out. And I couldn't recommend them highly enough. Really good value as well. Make sure you get a proper quote. They're able to give you quotes if you go down there. Have a chat with them at the shows as well. I'm really happy with what we've had done over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks as we stay in our van and we go away. Clearly we're going to be able to really test how well this system works, but I'm really, really stoked about what we've had done and how clean that look is. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Really interested in your views. Obviously this is an MAN TGE van, so if you've got an MAN TGE, is this the kind of thing that you fancy having in your van? Or if you've got a Westfalia Sven Hedin, maybe this is the install that you've been looking for. So give Offgrid Power Solutions a try if you haven't already. Thanks very much for watching and we'll see you again soon on Campervan Time.